when we're talking about the self-help industry at large, on a majority scale.
Yes.
And the personal development industry, okay? And what we've seen and our experience has been.
Yeah.
Okay? My experience has been that most people sit in level 1 or level 2.
100%.
So they either don't know what their shit is, or they are aware of their shit, but don't know how to change it. Okay? So that is where I would say most people sit. Okay? Everybody wants to get to level 4.
Yep.
They can see level 4.
Yep.
And people dangle it on a rope and say,
Yep.
here, you can get to level 4, but nobody knows how to get there.
Yes.
Right? So one of the things that I became like unbelievably like aware of, like when I say aware, like I was aware of this, but it crystallized in my understanding of something.
Yep.
Okay? Last week was this. The self-help industry at large is really good at making you aware.
Yes.
It's really good at bringing you those breakthroughs, of letting you see where you're self-sabotaging, of bringing the darkness or the pain to the surface.
Yeah.
So now you're sitting in level 2 and you're consciously aware, and at that point, the majority of the self-help industry then adapts your behaviors.
Yes.
So now you're like, okay, I know that I'm self-sabotaging in my eating habits, and I know that it's because I have self-loathing, but then all of a sudden the self-help industry turns it the other way and says, okay, now you need a new program because now you're aware.
Yep.
And the new program that you have and a time management this and a schedule is going to do you justice, okay? But what
Doesn't work that way.
What became obvious to me last week, and this is what differentiates us, is that we make you aware of your unconscious. We make you aware of everything. But then we adapt your unconscious.
Right.
We do not adapt your behaviors. The behaviors will adapt on their own if you adapt the unconscious programming.
Precisely.
And so that loops us all around into the process of, imagination, like you said, and the support of the other 3 pillars that we have in our toolbox. But think about that for a second. You have been brought to the brink of breakthrough 100 times.
Yep.
You're aware of your shit. You want to just get rid of it now, but people start telling you, well, manage your time better. Go to the gym. Do this. Do that.
They give you plastic food and show you portion control.
Count to 10 when you're angry.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually change anything because we're not rerouting the unconscious program.
100%. And I want to add to that. You said the bulk of the motivation industry does that. I don't know if it's the bulk, but let's split it in half. 50% of the motivation industry does exactly that. It helps you become aware and then tries to help you augment your behaviors.
Right.
But unless or until you change the unconscious story, your behaviors will always fall back in line with what your unconscious story is.
Yeah.
But the other half of the motivational industry just makes you feel good.
Right.
Jump up and down, loud music, feel good, great quotes.
Yep.
I feel it. It feels awesome. Nothing changes.
Right.
It's science. It's not. I have a disdain for both of them because they're both wrong. But my bigger disdain is that it's a false flag.
Right.
It's not giving people what they really need. It's helping them feel good for a short period of time and then making them want to have more of that. You know what that's called? Heroin. That's called heroin. That's dealing drugs.
Right.
Something to consider. By the way, Michelle Chapman-Smith offers a great question. Have either of you fallen out of conscious competence? Of course. Of course. Because it's a dynamic... Life is dynamic, Michelle. Everything's dynamic. But now we don't.
Yeah.
Now we are well past conscious competence on varying parts of our lives because we've been simple and consistent with our efforts day by day of re-regulating our mindsets.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
Absolutely.
Nothing to it.
Crazy.